they say. So I wanted to talk about medicinal herbs for grief. So the first one I want to touch on is a very popular one, and that's hawthorn. If you do your own personal research, you're almost always going to see hawthorn as probably the first or somewhere in the list of herbs for grief. One of the reasons is because it's an amazing heart herb. Okay, from the berries to the leaves. Personally, I like to keep them in stock because, as all things with a heart, if you struggle with high blood pressure, it's one of the best herbs for that as well. And so I've known people to actually make a cup of hawthorn tea and feel their heart open and just weep. So if you're looking for something that can be delicious, because I mean, berries are good and a little bit on the sweeter side as well, I would definitely suggest hawthorn. Really quick, shameless plug, I do have a book, well, mini book out, or a mini guide, if you will, about herbs for grief, medicinal herbs for grief specifically. There's about 10 or 11 herbs in there and a few recipes as well, of teas you can make on your own, in order for you to kind of transition through that. Also, if you are like, I want to do this, but I'm not sure, I always do consultations. I'm always taking them. You can go on my website and book a consultation with me, or reach out to me just to see what that process is like. Okay, so moving onward, I am so sorry about the glare on my glasses that you keep seeing me run from. But the next one is lemon balm. Lemon balm is a favorite of mine. Also a pretty tasty herb, which if you notice, grief is a bitter thing, but these are sweeter herbs. Excuse me. So lemon balm is a part of the mint family, but it does not taste like mint. It does have more of a citrusy taste. It blends and plays very well with other teas, so it makes it very good, which I do have a recipe with linden and lemon balm in my grief book that's fairly easy to make. But lemon balm, it calms you, calms your nervous system. It's great for that. It's a calming herb. It helps your mental space become more clear, more accessible to you for use, and just to be able to, to push through mentally what you're going through, which we know that when we grieve, sometimes we're not always there, and that's really natural. It's really natural, especially at the holiday season that we're heading into. We see that all the time because we have little reminders, throughout our day, or Facebook memories, or whatever it is that, might frazzle you a bit. Now, this last one, which I recently found out because if you follow me on my Instagram, there's an Asian market near me that's really cool. And so a friend of mine and they didn't know what it was, and we had to do our own research, but it's the mimosa leaf. Mimosa, or the silk tree, also called the tree of happiness. So you can guess what that's going into. It also, because we ate the raw herbs just to test and see, it has a nice little citrus bite to it. Not quite like lemon balm, but it has a nice little citrus bite to it. When you dry it, it has a very nice aroma. I love it. I love it fresh, and then dry on my own. But the mimosa is, it's to me, it's up there with Tulsi, which Tulsi can also be used for grieving. It's not my star player today, but the mimosa or silk tree, it has a lot of health benefits, including sciatic nerves and all that fun stuff. But again, it's called the tree of happiness. And so if you need joy, if you need to be able to press past that pain, or kind of find joy in the middle of that grief, it's an amazing herb for that. It's an amazing herb for that. And you're on, again, another kick here is you're going to get a plethora of other health benefits from it, because it's a very all-inclusive plant. But specifically for grief, if you're just looking for a little, which I think we do, we get overwhelmed with so much pain that we look for just a little nugget of joy, right? It'll do that for you. Now, let me throw this disclaimer before I wrap up. all herbs don't work the same for everyone, and that's why I always try to give variety. And that's also why in my book, I give a variety. Now the book right now is $5.99, so it's not a lot. Honestly, it's just not a lot. So if you're dealing with grief, you know someone who's dealing with grief and they want to go on the more holistic side, I would encourage you to encourage them or encourage yourself to go ahead on my website and grab you a copy. Like I said, I'm also here for a resource. You know, remember, I have a master's in psychology, so there's things I just understand when it comes to pain and mental health and emotions that other people don't quite have the same insight into. So I'll see you guys soon for another episode of Rooted Truly. All right.